Onside.
Dolphins game, and it's an onside kick.
All right, mic check 1 2 1 2. Gavin, you with us here?
I'm with you, man.
All right. Hopefully, those of you listening on the radio can actually hear us this time because we've had some trouble, and I'm gonna say that is 100% my fault. So, hi, Mom. Anyway, hello, welcome back to the Onside Kick Show. I'm Zach Stein.
I'm Gavin Lemke. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, man. It's 70 degrees, bro. Perfect day out here.
Beautiful. I mean, it was nice. Yesterday was like 80. It was a little too hot. Now we're back normally. Oh, my mom says hello, and yes, I can hear. So,
yo, real quick, did you see all the herkies around campus?
Yes,
that was hilarious.
Man, I was prowling the streets late last night,
Nice.
and I saw many statues with bags on them, like they were taking them away. They were covering them up. It looked like some like dystopian, futurist. I don't know if you ever play that game Injustice.
Nope.
Okay, great game. It's like DC. It's like Mortal Kombat with like DC. Anyway, Superman goes evil, and like it's just like some dystopian future thing.
Yeah.
My mom also says hi to Gavin. So
Hey, how's it going? What was your favorite one you saw? I saw one. It was like Nacho Libre or something. It was like one of those wrestlers with the mask on it, but it was herky. Awesome. It was dope.
That's awesome, dude. I saw the Homer Simpson herky.
Yeah.
That was so sick.
They cooked.
Yeah, they definitely cooked with that one. But so we're sitting here. It is Wednesday, May 1st, the week after the NFL draft. We got a lot to talk about for this draft, man. It was a good week for both of our teams. For once in my life, Chicago Bears, we are back. We are back.
The Bears are back.
We are back, and oh my God, I can't say any more exciting things. Otherwise, I'm gonna jinx it, and like Caleb Williams is gonna retire from football because he's bored or something. I don't know, but yeah, no, I think both of our teams had a great draft. Before we talk about those teams, just want to say, if you're not following us on TikTok, go follow us, Onside Kick Show with an _. In our last episode, we made a ton of hot takes, and we nailed like all of them.
Yeah, like most of them. I think the only one I missed on was I said Rattler would go in the second round. Yeah. Which I don't know why I said that. So, I would say we were perfect.
Yeah, I don't think I expected him to fall to the fifth. So I think we're kind of in between that. But yeah, no, we nailed it. You were on it with the defensive players going, or no defensive players top 10. Had the edge rusher. You had Penix in the first. So yeah, if you want to have proof that we know ball, I mean, just listen in. We'll give you some good stuff.
Yeah, I was catching flack for the top 10 defensive players take, but I don't know. Like people were saying, they're like, yeah, that's obvious. Like obviously that's gonna happen. Like look at this draft. Like look at where the NFL is in 2024.
Right.
But like, dude, I don't know if that's ever happened before. Has there ever been a draft where? What was it? The top 13 players were all offensive players?
It's never. The last time it was 2021, and the longest was I think 7 or 8 players ever.
Yeah.
To start out the game with offensive. This we shattered that record. It was 14 until finally the 15th player was a defensive player. So.
I was watching it with my roommates, and I was like, yeah, I bet you the first 10 picks won't be any defensive players. And they're like, yeah, well, obviously. I was like, what do you mean obviously, bro? It's never happened.
People just love to talk just to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, those TikTok comments are so funny. They're like, this is a warm take, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But anyway, so you want to go ahead and open, talk about the Lions draft because it was in Detroit. One of your predictions was the city was going to be electric, and boy, it was.
It was, bro. It was insane. Just from the beginning, watching them come out with Goodell, Eminem, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Goff, Aiden Hutchinson. We had a whole squad out there. Everyone got on the mic, got the Jared Goff chants going in front of a crowd of 275,000 fans. Ooh. That's another record. The Lions just broke a record for draft attendance. Almost 600,000 fans in total over the 3 days.
Wow.
But yeah, Lions had a pretty good draft. Traded up 5 spots in the first round to go get Terrion Arnold, who I think was the second best corner on the board. Or second best corner on the board going into the draft. Best at the time after Quinion Mitchell went. And then got Ennis Rakestraw in round 2, so covered up the gap that we had in the corner position. And then, we are catching some flack for some moves we made in the 3rd and 4th round. We traded so for both picks, we traded our third rounder next year to make a 3rd round draft pick this year. And then we traded a 4th rounder next year to make a 4th round pick this year. And we got, in the 3rd round, an offensive tackle for the University of British Columbia, Giovanni Manu. Not even an All-American. He's second team All-Canadian.
Dang.
That just doesn't really like ring, you know. That doesn't really have a ring to it at all. And then the fourth round pick we made was Sione Vake. I believe I said that correct. We're just catching flag for trading up for him. He's a guy who's like a running back / safety hybrid in college.
Running back safety?
Yeah, like I don't even know like what kind of position he's going to play. I think he was listed as like an athlete going into the draft. And like we traded up to go get him. So I don't know. People are saying that the Lions are kind of heat checking right now and just like trading up and trying to make crazy moves. But I don't know, man. I think we're in win now mode. Like, this is a good sign that we're in win now mode, trading up for players that you think will help you in the immediate future. So, I don't know. I can't hate on it. I trust Brad Holmes. I trust Dad Campbell. And I'm going to let them cook.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that you really just kind of needed, like, the top two to be, like, immediate impact players. And if the other guys below that turn out, then great. Yeah. I actually did some tape on Christian Mahogany from Boston College. I actually liked him a lot. And I think that was a 6th or 7th round pick.
That was ours?
Yeah. So, yeah, you got him at 210. I don't remember what round that is. But, yeah, Terrion Arnold was arguably the best corner in the draft. I think you and I had him at 2. Like, yeah, that was a snag. He said, "I'm home" up on the stage. He's excited amazing, to be there. Dude. Rakestraw is a big, like, long press corner. You also got to factor in, you traded your original third in this draft, or one of your thirds, to get Carlton Davis, who was a good, established veteran corner.
Yeah, so essentially 3 corners in this draft.
Yes. That's incredible. That was your only weakness, really. The one thing, you probably could have used another edge rusher. That's another thing. But there's a couple guys in free agency. You could sign a veteran.
We did also, in free agency, we signed the Canadian Football League MVP, or Defensive Player of the Year. He's an edge rusher.
Okay.
So, yeah. We just got a lot of Canadians on the squad.
Yeah, you got some Canadian. You got the British Columbia OT. You got the running back safety hybrid. You got the Canadian Football League MVP. You guys are going for some unconventional picks, but I like it.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, I'm happy for you. Unfortunately, though, we just drafted some players that are going to terrorize you for the next 15 years.
Tory Taylor?
Yeah, mainly Tory Taylor. You stole my thunder, man. No,
you'll be punting a lot.
That is probably the coolest pick in this draft because night before, friends, chuckling, watching the day one of the draft, they're like, man, imagine if Tory Taylor goes to the Bears. That'd be hilarious. And boom, what do you know?
Dude, I know. I felt the same last year when we went and got Jack Campbell and Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
It's like, just guys that went to our school. Like, we watched them every Saturday, and then now we get to watch them on Sundays playing for our team. So that's gonna be cool for you to experience that. And he's gonna be on the field a lot.
Well, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. Hopefully not. Whatever. Caleb Williams texted him he wouldn't be punting a ton.
Yeah, that was funny.
But no, underrated pick there. But yeah, I mean, we got Caleb Williams. I was bullish on the pick earlier because I really like Fields. I still wish things could have been different, but I mean, we got a stud. I can't complain with that. And Rome Odunze, the fact that he fell at 9 was crazy, and I'm very happy about that. That Yale tackle has been a lifelong Bears fan. Look up some of like his old tweets. It's so funny. He has the same like if I put my Bears fan thoughts on Twitter, like that's how it'd be. It'd be like,
what's his name?
Oh my gosh, I don't know how to pronounce it. Kiran Omega DJ? Kiran Omega DJ is a Yale tackle. We took him in the 3rd round. He's a developmental guy. He's a massive human who has very long arms. Aside from that, he's not very polished. But I think in the scouting report, it was like, the people he was playing against are just like citizens, like just average pedestrians.
Just citizens. That's a crazy way to put it.
Right, I know. Like, what does that make me? I'm not playing for Yale football.
Yeah. So you guys didn't have a second, did you?
No, we didn't, but we had pick 9, so can't complain. We do have another 2nd round next year from the Panthers, though. So Panthers continue to help us thrive. The last guy I want to touch on, Austin Booker from Kansas. When I was doing D-line film, I was like looking down the board. I was like, I only have so much time to watch all these players, but I was like, Austin Booker, okay, this is an intriguing guy. I like kind of just read his stats and public like views on him and stuff. And I was like, okay, this could be interesting. And then I got him. I was like, okay, cool. This dude is another like project dude. He traded up to get him in the 5th round. Could be good, could be non-impactful. Who cares? Whatever. I think this was a phenomenal draft for Chicago. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. At what point did you tune out of the draft? Like did you watch any in the 2nd round, the day 2 stuff?
To be honest with you, I went back on YouTube and I watched most of the picks like throughout the 3rd round. I didn't really watch a ton of the 4th, although I did see Sketch announce a pick for the Texans. Yeah, it was immediately after Tory Taylor. Because I was watching the pick, I was like, oh, Tory Taylor, that's so sick. And then I see Sketch like coming on the stage like, let's go. And I was like, what? Like, where did he come from?
Dude, he was turned. That was hilarious.
Yeah, good for him.
Come on.
Yeah. What's up, brothers? He was so
loud.
hyped. Yeah.
That was so funny.
But no, I was pretty tapped into the first 2 days. Speaking of the first 2 days, let's talk about some notable picks here. I was predicting Bo Nix to the Broncos for a while. And as it turns out, from what you've put in here, Sean Payton apparently loves Bo Nix as much as Mahomes.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, Adam Schefter must have gotten paid to send out these tweets because he sent out like 4 of them just talking about how long the Denver Broncos have been interested in Bo Nix, how much they've watched him practice, how much they've watched him play. And I don't know, they're pretty much just trying to have Adam Schefter put out to the world all the excuses that they had for I don't know, I'm not gonna say wasting this was the number 12 pick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm not gonna say wasting the number 12 pick, but I think Sean Payton wanted the world to know that he knows what he's doing, and I think he paid Adam Schefter to send out those tweets.
It's possible.
The story though about Sean Payton and Mahomes is hilarious. Apparently, in the draft with Mahomes, I think the Saints were drafting 9th or 10th.
They had the 11th.
Or 11th?
Yeah.
And have you heard the story?
I have, but you
have
tell
heard
it.
the
Go
story.
ahead.
Drew Brees had like some buddies in town or something, and he asked Sean Payton if he could come to the war room during the first round of the draft. And Sean Payton said yes. However, we are it might be kind of awkward because we're interested in this Mahomes guy from Texas Tech. We might draft your successor. Like, do you really want to bring your boys to the war room? And luckily, Drew Brees was cool about it. But it's interesting. Like, Sean Payton was so high on Mahomes, and he's giving that same praise to Bo Nix.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Like, you know, that I guess if you are Sean Payton and you're not just lying like completely, like that's probably got to feel good. You're like, wow, I just got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But like, I think those are totally different players. Like Mahomes was like biggest arm in the draft, like a lot of upside. And then it was kind of a reach when they took him at 10. Like they traded up to get him. And then people were like, oh, he could go to the second. Like he went before Deshaun Watson. Like,
Yeah.
but, and whereas Bo Nix kind of was the last guy taken in the first. But yeah, he said he like baited the Vikings to trade up one so they could take McCarthy because they
He said that like openly.
right, which
funny.
you know it's like hindsight's everything, so I don't know if he's telling the truth, but I think that's hilarious. The story I knew that he liked Mahomes, but I didn't know about the Drew Brees buddies in the war room. That's
Dude, if you
cool.
want to talk about somebody, this is gonna be a little sidetrack, but somebody who's the next Mahomes is. Do you know who Dylan Raiola is?
No.
He just committed to Nebraska, he committed to Nebraska, and I think he just went there for like spring, whatever they do, spring ball.
Relation to Lions center by chance?
It's his son.
Oh
and
my
he
gosh.
trains with the same trainer as Mahomes, and like just the fluidity of his throwing motion, his pocket presence, and like the way he escapes, makes throws on the run, like he's the next Mahomes.
You're
And
calling your shot, huh?
He wears the same exact. He wears like the arm sleeve, and he's got the same hair, like with the headband. Like I think he wore number 15 too in the clips I was watching.
They cloned him.
And he threw for like 250 yards, 3 touchdowns in his spring game debut. And I think he's like 18 years old. Dylan Raiola is the next Mahomes.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
just
heard
had
it
to
here
get that
first.
off.
Yeah, no, that'd be a crazy shot to call. I like it. All right, well, we're gonna take a quick break here, and then when we come back, we'll talk about some good and bad picks from the draft. Stay tuned. But yeah, we had a really solid first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. I think there were some great picks, some shocking picks. I don't want to say bad because at the end of the day, you really don't know how they're going to turn out for a couple years. But let me start off here by talking about some of my favorite picks in this year's draft. So there's a couple guys who fell just because of value and stuff, and I'm gonna leave those off for now. But I do want to talk about the Chargers had a phenomenal draft. I'm a big Ladd McConkey fan. They needed a wide receiver in the first round. They took Joe Alt instead, which I think was surprising to a lot of people. But if you really know Jim Harbaugh, he just has been needing offensive line this whole time. That's his whole philosophy. But they got, in my opinion, still a starting wide receiver in the second round, Ladd McConkey. They traded up to get him at the early second. This guy gets open. He is actually very fast in the open field. And he runs some of the best routes in the entire class. So that's phenomenal. And then after that, in the 7th round, so they get a Michigan linebacker in the 3rd. They go around and they do some other stuff. But 7th round, they get Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, who a lot of people thought would have been like a 4th round pick. There was another USC guy, Taj Washington. People were like, oh, Caleb Williams, like he has decent receivers, are going to go earlier. They ended up not going until way later. And so I think Brendan Rice I actually like a lot. He's a big physical guy. He's a little bit of a different player than Jerry Rice, but he still has like the ability to get open. He gets behind the defense. For a 7th round pick, that's phenomenal.
A little bit of a different player than Jerry Rice.
Yeah, just a little bit. That brings me to wonder, where did Jerry Rice get drafted?
That's interesting.
What pick was he? I don't think he was a first rounder. I could be wrong.
Where did he go to college? Did he go to HBCU?
He went to Mississippi Valley State, and he was a first round pick. He was pick 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think that was just a great draft for the Chargers all around. They got Joe Alt obviously in the first, but I think what they did with the other picks too, they got some of Harbaugh's guys, they got a receiver, they got another receiver. They addressed a lot of needs, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I'll keep rolling with that. I would say my team of the draft, I think that just made some solid picks. For me, it was the Commanders. Obviously Jaden Daniels at number 2. I'm big on Jaden Daniels, and I think this is the perfect time for Washington to get a quarterback like that. And then Jerzon Newton in the 2nd round, D-tackle out of Illinois. He's a beast, and I don't know why. We'll get to this later, but a defensive tackle went right before him, and you could have had Jerzon Newton, man. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I completely agree, and I think the Commanders, that was the one position they definitely didn't need to draft because they're paying 2 of their D tackles like $20 million a year.
Yeah,
but at the same time, maybe because you're paying them $20 million a year, maybe you want the new guys so you can trade one of them away.
Yeah,
so Jonathan Allen
and just honestly best player available, and then also in the 2nd round they went and got Mike Saintsville from Michigan, the corner. Mm-hmm. He had that game-winning pick against Ohio State last year in the rivalry, so that's huge. I don't know, man. I think things are looking up for Washington Commanders.
Yeah. Their signings in free agency were all pretty good, like depth pieces. No like crazy flashy moves, but when you're building a really bad roster from the ground up, you don't really need that. And then obviously they got Jaden Daniels, they got the quarterback of the future.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's a good team. I'll go to another one here. I liked the Steelers draft because they took Troy Fautanu, the offensive tackle / guard from Washington. The reason I like that pick is because Troy Fautanu may be named after Troy Polamalu. It's possible because he grew up his whole life a Steelers fan, and I believe he grew up in Pittsburgh. The Steelers, they've shown year in, year out, they love guys with connection to the organization. They take a lot of Pitt guys. James Conner was a Pitt guy. Kenny Pickett was a Pitt guy. They got to see, partially because they get to watch more of them since Pitt's campus is pretty close to the Steelers, one of their facilities, maybe their practice facility, but Troy Fautanu is also just a great tackle prospect. You can play him at guard too. They really rebuilt that offensive line because last year they took Broderick Jones, who's playing right tackle for them. They have Troy, who's going to play left. And then they also picked up another guard in the 2nd round. I'm trying to remember who
Frazier?
It was. Yeah, Zach Frazier.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, he's a center. But he's a stud. I think he had the wrestling background. He was
the guy that was mocked to the Lions a lot in early mock drafts.
In round 1, right?
Yeah.
So they got him in round 2. That's great. So I loved their draft. They also got Roman Wilson, Michigan receiver in the 3rd round, and Payton Wilson, who arguably the best linebacker, has a ton of injury concerns, but beyond that, he's a great player. So I loved the Steelers draft.
They also got Iowa Hawkeye, Logan Lee, defensive end.
Yeah. There you go.
That's big.
Uh-huh.
Go
what round did he go in, do you know?
6th, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we had like 5 or 6 Iowa guys drafted, so that's cool.
That's phenomenal. Even if we don't have a ton of 1st-round picks, like we always have depth pieces. So shout out Kirk.
Like 2 or 3 tight ends will always go.
Yep.
I'll give you one of the best picks that I like just for as far as value. At 19, when the Rams got Jared Verse, I thought that was huge because there was so much talk about the Rams trading up all week. Apparently, Brock Bowers was like the number 1 guy that they wanted, and when he started falling, they considered trading up towards that 12 to 14 area. But then they ended up waiting, and they got somebody who was also pretty high on their big board in Jared Verse. And I think it's a great pickup, replace Aaron Donald. And then in the next round, they went and got D-tackle who played with Jared Verse, teammates at Florida State. And that was a pretty cool moment, seeing him like get the call. Apparently the GM, they almost had Jared Verse make the call to his teammate to tell him that he got drafted. That would have been a cool moment. But those guys were fired up to be playing with each other. And I don't know, it's just nice to see the Rams like they don't ever make first round picks. I think this was their first round pick since Jared Goff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
It's like 8 years.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It's been a minute for sure. And they don't always make second round picks either. So they got two guys who were teammates, both D-line animals. Now they have a really solid D-line. They have Kobe Turner and another guy over there, Byron Young, I think. But yeah, the D-line is really solid. Yeah, I think Jared Verse had a potential to be the first or second edge rusher off the board. And they got him, I believe after Dallas Turner. So he was the third guy off the board, I think. But yeah, I like that. The last pick I'll mention, well, obviously, like Eagles, they got Quinion Mitchell, they got Cooper DeJean. That's phenomenal value. I'd be interesting to see where they play Coop, if they're going to play him at corner or safety. Colts got Adonai Mitchell in the mid-second round. They were citing like character concerns. They were like, something about his blood sugar, like because he's like diabetic or something. They were like, he like gets grumpy, and I was like, what? Like that's a dumb reason to knock him off the board. So I don't know if that's the only reason why he fell. Dude,
it might be illegal to like not draft someone because they have diabetes.
Yeah, is that against like a disability?
Like HIPAA, right?
Right.
Yeah,
you'd think.
Yeah, that's messed up.
That's what some people were saying. They're just some character concern. I was like, all right, that doesn't make any sense. But
where did you hear this report? That people said he's moody because of his blood sugar?
There were a couple. It was on Twitter, of course, but it was by some verified sources. Let's look up Adonai Mitchell. Or I'm gonna look up blood sugar. When his blood sugar's off, Adonai Mitchell is rude, uncoachable. Tagline, like
uncoachable.
This is so dumb. But anyway, so I think that's great value. But the guy I really wanted to talk about was Trey Benson to the Cardinals. This is a running back from Florida State. We were just talking about some Florida State guys. They had some doggies in this class. They had some absolute dogs. And Trey Benson is a physical and fast running back who, if you give James Conner like a little bit more speed, that's honestly not a bad comparison because he'll be able to duck and get through the middle of the line. And he's got a little wiggle to him as well. Maybe not the most elusive dude, but I loved Trey Benson. Jonathan Brooks went to the Panthers as the first running back. I believe Trey Benson was the second. And for the Cardinals, James Conner's getting up there, so this would be a guy waiting in the wings. They need some more juice on the offense. They got Marvin Harrison. I liked the Trey Benson pick in the second round. I think that was, or maybe it was the third round. But yeah, it was a great pick. Loved it. Pretty happy if I were the Cardinals how my draft turned out.
Yeah, I'll roll with that running back vibe. Ray Davis to the Bills. I think he's going to be like an instant impact guy. That's probably... Dude, he might have been my number one back. Yeah. Like, straight up. Like, he was just so fun to watch. He's, like, the smoothest runner ever. Another pick that I liked was Joe Milton to the Patriots. Yeah. The Jags and the Patriots traded Mac Jones for a 6th-round pick, and the Patriots used that 6th-round pick that they got to get Joe Milton. So you pretty much just traded Mac Jones for Joe Milton. Wow. Which I think is a good move because, like, Joe Milton's a dude who comes in, training camp, he's going to get the attention of the fans because he could throw the ball 80 yards. He could throw an orange. It was like Tennessee versus Clemson Orange Bowl. So everything was orange, and they had Joe Milton out on the field before the game, and they were like, how far can you throw this orange? And he threw it over 100 yards, which is insane. So, yeah, he just has an absolute cannon of an arm. Yeah. So I think, like, training camp, first couple weeks of the preseason, like, people are going to be kind of in awe of Joe Milton's arm.
Yeah, and you got to remember when the Commanders drafted RG3. We talked about this last week, but when the Commanders drafted RG3, pick number 2, they took Kirk Cousins in the 4th, and Kirk Cousins ended up starting more games for them, being their franchise guy. So who knows? If Drake May doesn't work out, then Joe Milton's there to throw an orange 150 yards if you need him to. There were some rumors, they're going to switch him to tight end. Which one I think is just kind of disrespectful if you take a quarterback. Like just people like Joe NFL Milton? Scouts were saying switch Joe Milton to tight end. Because he's unpolished as a quarterback and he has physical. I think that's so disrespectful. Like Lamar Jackson when they were like playing at wide receiver. Yeah. That's so disrespectful to athletic quarterbacks. And Joe Milton himself was like, that will never happen. And I'm glad. If the Patriots want to do that, then he should request a release. Because he's got a cannon. He's not the most polished dude, but yeah, I love the pick there. All right. Well, were there any picks that shocked you in this year's draft? Because there's one glaring pick in the first round, which I think was pretty surprising.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I was really shocked at anything except for the one that you're referencing.
Which would, of course, be Michael Penix to the Atlanta Falcons at pick 8 in the first round.
Crazy.
Well, all right. Let me give my spiel on it because you seem to be more comfortable with that pick, right?
I mean, I'm not up in arms. You're freaking out.
Yeah, that's true. I was pretty surprised. I can't complain because if they for some reason took Rome Odunze, if they traded it, then maybe we wouldn't have gotten Rome. So I'm not really gonna complain. So thank you, Falcons. Actually, Ryan Poles was like visibly laughing in the press conference when somebody asked him about that pick. He was like, "I'm just glad it worked out that way." So me too. But man, like I don't even hate taking a quarterback here. As crazy as that is, considering Kirk Cousins hasn't even played a snap for the Falcons. He's coming off a torn Achilles, and like, you know, you would think that he may struggle like getting back on the field, but I don't know. He hasn't really suffered a ton of other injuries in his career, so hopefully he'll still be able to be out there week 1. But Michael Penix is already 24, and so even assuming you're not going to have Kirk Cousins playing for 4 years that you gave him guaranteed money for 4 years. You got to think that there's at least 2 that he's starting, unless something terrible happens. And in that case, you're still losing a ton of money by paying him. Might not be able to trade him. So Michael Penix not being able to go on the field as a starter until 26, I think is just really, really, that's an interesting move. You know, when you're the Packers, you draft Jordan Love. He's 21. By the time he starts, he's like 24. That's a little better, right? Michael Penix has started 6 years in college. And now he's going to have to wait more? You know, like I don't know if that makes a ton of sense to me. I would almost be more, like it'd make more sense if they took like J.J. McCarthy. And then, hey, you know, just saying, man of faith, Kirk Cousins also man of faith. Maybe that would have been a good mentor there. But no, I mean, they really like the succession plan idea of having a quarterback after Kirk. But I just think if he hasn't played it down for him, I don't know why you take the 24-year-old quarterback.
Yeah, I was listening to part of my take yesterday. Peter Schrager, you know Peter Schrager from NFL Network. He said like a lot of the people he talked to, like front office people in the NFL, said that the last place you want to be is quarterback purgatory. Like you have a mid quarterback, for lack of a better term, and like you can maybe make the playoffs, but you're not bad enough to get like a good enough pick to get a good quarterback. So I guess you don't want to be like stuck with Kirk Cousins. You want to kind of have a fallback option, something to be excited about. That being said, like why not just trade back a couple picks and still get the guy? I just
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
And like even if you wanted Michael Penix specifically, you have the 8th pick in the draft. Like even with free agency, like you know a lot of teams drafting a quarterback. Like we were like, okay, the Falcons will probably draft a quarterback if they don't sign Kirk Cousins. Why do you pay him all that money? Because you could have gotten any other veteran quarterback and done this. Kirk Cousins, you're giving him a bag. Like he has 1 playoff win, and you've given him, you know, $180 million like guaranteed, 140 guaranteed. So I think they could have thought about this earlier on and be like, all right, if we really want a quarterback, let's just not sign Kirk. So just puzzling. I won't hate it if he ends up starting this year and then they just have a situation to work out with Cousins. Like their offense can be good. I love Michael Penix as a player too.
Well, hold on. So this is a 4-year for Kirk Cousins, 4-year, $180 million deal. A reported $100 million of the $180 million is fully guaranteed, while a $50 million signing bonus is also included. So is the signing bonus included in the contract? Like, if he has $100 million guaranteed and he gets a $50 million signing bonus, do they still now have to pay him $50 million?
I think that's like $50 million up front. Could be on like just signing bonus. Like it's like when you sign the contract. That's it. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I could be wrong, but
dude, imagine.
Yeah, I could be totally wrong on that. But yeah,
I don't know.
that's
I'm
so
just
much
thinking,
money.
like, could they get away with paying him like 30 mil this year, 30 mil next year, and then just be done paying Kirk Cousins? Like make it only like a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
Maybe 3rd year they just honestly like don't even sign, like don't re-sign him or don't let him make the team. I guess I don't know, because I'm looking at his contract. It's like a $10 million signing bonus in his 3rd year if he makes the team.
All right.
So just cut him.
Cut
him and give Penix a chance. And I don't know. I've been hearing like people love Penix and just the way he throws the ball. I don't know. I don't like the pick, but like I'm kind of excited about it.
Right. I think definitely stirring up the pot a little bit. I like it. And again, this is no knock on Michael Penix. Like, dude has one of the stronger arms in the draft. Yeah. He was incredible. He's experienced. Like, injury concerns or not, like, he played healthy seasons at Washington. So I think this is going to be it's going to be a fun situation to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy to watch it all unfold. And I don't think the Falcons, like, regardless, they could start Kirk Cousins. I don't think they'll be in playoff contention even this year.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I mean, I guess they could win the NFC South.
Yeah, which
they
technically
should. They should win the NFC South.
Hey, Bucks made a run.
True.
Didn't think they were going to go very far.
True.
But you never know. That's what I love about football, man. You really never know. There's a lot of surprising winners that come out of divisions.
Yeah.
Like the Chicago Bears this year. No, I'm playing. You guys are probably gonna win like 13 games. I'm kind of scared of you, but
dude, I don't know. Did you see the stat where it was like Caleb Williams has to throw like half a touchdown a game to like break the Bears record?
Oh yeah, he can become like the best franchise quarterback that we've ever had like in a season. He can definitely do that. But the bar is in hell. Like I think we've never had a 30 touchdown season, and we've never had a 4,000 yard passer.
You never had 30, like not even from Cutler?
Nah.
What?
Yep. Isn't that crazy? Man, we suck.
Well, you don't suck. You just, I don't know.
We suck.
I don't know. It's just you guys have always had teams that relied on the defense. That's what it was. That
is true. The defense was our strong spot. And now we have a good defense, knock on wood, and we have a good offense. So it's a good time to be alive. Good time to be a Bears fan for once in my life.
You have a good punter now, too.
Elite punter. Yeah. Arguably the best punting prospect ever. Dog. Well, okay, while we are talking about the Falcons, I do just want to we were talking about Jerzon Newton being a great value pick for the Commanders. So basically, people came in, they were like, all right, we were going to get an edge rusher. Falcons fans came in, they're like, all right, we're going to get an edge rusher in pick 8, or we're going to trade down and get an edge rusher. And in the second round, like, I don't know, maybe we'll take a quarterback then. Well, no, they ended up going with Michael Peener in the first round.
I'm Mike Penis. I'm named after my dad's penis.
And then in the second round, they take Scooby-Doo, Rook Ororo. Again, dude, like, no diss to you, Rook. No diss to you. But, like, I don't know who this is. I didn't know who this was.
I was so confused at first when you said Scooby-Doo, and then I remember, when I read his name, Ororo.
Yeah, Rook Ororo. Maybe I'm just being insensitive. I don't know. But either way, like, Jerzon Newton, pass rushing D tackle, like, gets after the quarterback well. Reminds me of somebody like a Grady Jarrett who played in Atlanta for years and got after the quarterback. Mm-hmm. But no, Rook Ororo. If he turns out, I'm going to eat my words. If he turns out to be a god, I'm going to eat my words completely. But they traded up to get him in the second. I highly doubt anyone was going to take him there. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, last time they drafted a lefty quarterback named Michael, things worked out well.
Yes, right? for a little bit. And then he did some bad things. But it did work out pretty well originally. So who knows, man? This is going to be interesting. I will say Braylon Trice, their third-round pick from Washington. I loved that pick. He's a great dude. It's a great leader for the defense. So I like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just some interesting draft picks for Atlanta. Well, let's pivot here. Unless you have any shocking picks.
No, none from me.
Gavin approves of every pick.
Yeah.
You know, in a perfect world, everybody works out.
Dude, that's what I said last week in the episode. To end it off, I said I hope everybody gets everything that they wanted.
Yeah.
And I feel like I did, you did. Falcons fans probably aren't happy, but that's like the only fan base that's not happy.
Right, yeah. Maybe the Cowboys didn't really get a receiver, but they got some good O-linemen.
Yeah, the Cowboys did it. That was a bad draft. Yeah. Well, the offensive tackle that they drafted played like 9 games or something.
Yeah, he's a boomer bust guy.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where it goes out. Well, all right. Let's talk about some. Let's see. You want to do OROY, DROY picks?
Yeah, I'll do a DROY, or actually I'll do a OROY.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to be an early? Let's call your shot early on for offensive rookie of the year or defensive rookie of the year.
Offensive rookie of the year. This is tough, man. You know, you could do that one. I'll do defense. Okay.
Well, this may come as a shock to you, but I think I'm going to have to go with the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
Damn.
As a completely unbiased opinion, I genuinely think this is the best setup a number 1 pick has had in a long, long time, maybe ever. You take off the fact that I'm a Bears fan, I still don't think it's a crazy take saying Caleb would be the offensive rookie of the year. Am I going to go out and say he's going to win MVP and be a Hall of Famer and throw for 5,000 yards? Yeah, I mean, no. But I think that he's in a good spot to succeed. I got pretty high hopes. If I had to pick somebody other than Caleb, maybe I would go, I wanted to say like a receiver. Keon Coleman, honestly, is pretty cool.
You think he's cool?
I think he's his interviews are so funny, man.
He's funny. I don't think that he's going to be able to handle the cold in Buffalo.
You don't think so? Yeah, he's Florida, so.
Yeah. I think if you're thinking of a receiver for offensive rookie of the year, I like Brian Thomas Jr. a lot. I love that pick. Like, I feel like, to me, it kind of matters. Like, this dude from Louisiana played at LSU, gets drafted, like, going to be playing in Florida. Like, it's different for Keon Coleman going from Florida to Buffalo, New York. Like, that sucks. I feel like that actually kind of matters. Plus, I mean, both those guys have really good, strong-arm quarterbacks. But, yeah, playing with Trevor Lawrence is not bad either. And then for defensive rookie of the year, I really wanted to say Terrion Arnold. But I think I'm going to go with Chop Robinson.
Okay.
With the Dolphins.
All right.
Just because we talked about it last week, like, both his other edge rushers have blown out Achilles or blown out ACLs. So I just think he's going to get a lot of opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that pick, actually. I was considering putting that on most shocking, but I was kind of reasoning with myself there because that was kind of best player available. And yeah, like you said, their edge rushers are both out.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bradley Chubb or Jalen Phillips are going to play. And maybe if they do, then like they already paid Chubb. Maybe they don't want to pay Phillips. They want to make Chop like the focus. Yeah. Also, they had the GOAT Andrew Van Ginkel getting some rotations in that defense. They like to have like a designated pass rusher, and Chop Robinson is exactly that. Mm-hmm. He's a freaky alien-like athlete. So I like that pick. I would say for defensive player of the year, yeah, corner it's hard to win, but Marshawn Lattimore did it, so I could see Terrion Arnold doing something like that, or Coop. Defensive rookie of the year, I could go somewhere outside the first round, but I think I'm going to go ahead and say Dallas Turner, honestly, for the Vikings. He scares me.
Yeah.
That was a great pick for them to trade up and get him. Arguably the best edge rusher on the board. I love Leatu Latu from the Colts, but I think Dallas Turner, now that you lost Danielle Hunter, you also lost DJ Wanham, the other edge rusher. So he's going to be a primary spot. They're going to try and get him involved in rushing the quarterback. So I think that's a spot to watch.
Yo, where did Javon Baker go?
Javon Baker went to the Patriots.
Which round?
It was like, I think 5th or 6th.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What the dude? What?
Wait. Sorry. 110. I think it's a 4th.
Bro, I thought he was going to be like a second round pick. I'm just now realizing this.
Well, I will say this: Jalen Polk from Washington was not supposed to go at 37. I don't think people really projected him, and the Patriots took him then. So honestly, if you switch those two, then it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, but like Roman Wilson over Javon Baker?
Right.
Luke McCaffrey over Javon Baker?
That one I think you could put in the shocking picks. Luke McCaffrey, just kind of interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I take back everything I said about the Commanders draft. That's Luke McCaffrey? What are you doing? He played wide receiver for 1 year, and it was at Rice.
Yeah.
Like, he was a quarterback at Nebraska, and he didn't do anything.
Well, whatever, Adam Peters is a friend of the McCaffrey family from when he was in San Francisco, so that's my only connection there. I don't know why else. Still, 3rd round pick is crazy. Last pick in the 3rd, but... Yeah, Javon Baker and Jalen Polk have a chance to be wide receivers 1 and 2 for the Patriots for Drake May.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah, they got a young offense there. Or maybe it's going to be Joe Milton. Who knows?
Yeah, wow. Javon Baker, 4th round, pick 10.
Hey, your boy Patrick Paul went in the 2nd round to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So,
do you think is that shocking? Like, did he kind of fly up boards late in the process?
I think he was kind of polarizing because some people loved him and some people didn't like him because he's like a traits guy. But I think that's a fair place. Like if once you have like the 1st round, this is a very top heavy draft, right? So that's why you saw like, I don't know if people projected the Panthers to take Xavier Legette in the 1st.
Yeah.
Like, we thought it was gonna be Adonai Mitchell or whatever. But like once you get past like the bona fide like studs and like top 25, grades are all over the boards. Like Jackson Powers Johnson went in the 2nd round. Like that was a great pick. Like, so I think, some people probably had him in a 5th. Some people had him in a 2nd, but no, I like it. Traits guy,
Yeah. So I'm just looking back. I'm looking at the draft right now. I'm thinking back to like when we did our top 5 running backs in the 4th round. You have pick 25 to the Bucks is Bucky Irving on the Bucks. That's cool. And then right after that, the Lions drafted the Canadian offensive tackle. And then pick 27, Will Shipley to the Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
And then pick 28, Ray Davis to the Bills. So, yeah, we like these picks. I feel like Will Shipley might actually make an impact early.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna have Saquon there, but ideally, I mean, the Eagles usually you do a committee by running backs, and so Saquon obviously coming off some injuries throughout his career, maybe give Shipley the ball. Yeah, I like that pick too. This was a good running back class in the sense that there's a lot of talent there, maybe not a lot of like first round guys, but it runs pretty deep. Like there could be some 6th round guys who are really good. There could be the 2nd round guys that are really good.
Yeah. What about Braylon Allen to the Jets?
That's pretty intriguing.
He's like 6'2", 240. He's huge.
And you ready to feel old? Braylon Allen is the first player going to the NFL who was born in 2004.
2004? Yeah. He's not even 21? No. Is he
Man's
21?
barely 20.
Well, he's not even, what?
Yeah.
Bro,
Braylon Allen.
They got to give him like, there has to be an age limit for the NFL, like a minimum. You should have to be like 21.
Hey, LeBron James, no college, came right into the NBA. I guess it's different with basketball.
Yeah, a complete different league though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, I was talking with a buddy about hockey and like that too. Connor Bedard coming in like pretty young. But I guess if you're a pro hockey player, even with soccer or football, you start playing when you're like 15, 16, you're like in a pro league.
Yeah. Luka Doncic played professional ball for like Real Madrid basketball team when he was like 14.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know though, different sport. I mean, Bedard did like break his jaw. He took a shot to the face, broke his jaw. Like it can get dangerous out there, but Braylon Allen's built, dude. He's huge.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not really worried about him.
Yeah, he's a big physical guy. It'd be a good change of pace for Breece Hall. Breece
20
Hall's
years old.
speed guy.
How do you have to spend 3 years in college, right?
I don't think so. I think you can declare early, but I know Braylon Allen has, I think, been in college for 3 years. But I think you can come out as a sophomore. Like Tremaine Edmonds came out when he was 19, I think.
Pizza time.
Hey, Iowa City. This is Tiger, General Manager here at KRUI 89.7. Want the best pizza in town? Check out the Wedge Pizzeria. With over 40 toppings, both standard and unique, different cheeses and sauces, plus plenty of sides and desserts. There's sure to be something you'll love. I go for the pesto pizza. Stop in daily from 11 to 4 or buy the slice service or order online at thewedgepizza.com or over the phone at 319-337-6677.
All right.
That was hard.
Indeed. Sorry for the jarring PSA, but yeah, Braylon Allen. Let's see. I know he was at Wisconsin. Let's go to his college stats. This man played at Wisconsin for 3 years. Wow.
Damn.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that because he was actually a beast in his first 2 years. Like at 18 years old, he ran for 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns on 6.8 yards per carry.
Holy cow.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Yo, do we want to transition real quick into some legal talk actually?
Yeah.
Talking about licensing and things like that.
Yeah. You have the floor, my friend.
I'm just reading this article right now about Barry announcing that he's decided to take his like name, image, and likeness, I guess, out of the Madden games. He says, "I apologize for those that are expecting me in the games. I leave you with #CyberBarry."
Did you see the video that he put on there?
Yeah, and
we'll overlay that here. It's pretty funny.
It's like, what? Why, bro? He must have gotten a bag, right? Like they must have paid him to do this because he's tagging the Lions, the NFL, and the NFL Players Association.
Why would they pay him to depart from Madden?
Yeah,
though, you know.
Like if I mean, I just can't think of any other reason why he would take his name out of Madden. Like why?
It's confusing. You know, why does Bill Belichick do it? I'm not really sure. I guess if you're Bill Belichick and, you know, it seems like a Belichick thing he would do, like, oh, I don't want Madden to use my likeness or whatever, you know.
That was actually good. That was decent.
I was working on that. This is my excited face.
That's actually good. That's a good impression.
Thank you. I think if Barry, like, he's already been in there for years, so like, what are they gonna like? I don't understand why he's dipping now. It doesn't make any sense. But you know what's also interesting is there seems to be like a trend of people kind of questioning whether they should be in Madden or NCAA. We talked about Arch Manning, like didn't want to play with himself, so he doesn't want to be in NCAA. He didn't sign his likeness. Marvin Harrison Jr. has still not signed his player agreement to sell jerseys or be in Madden.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, is this is still ongoing?
As far as I know, yes. I mean, I remember this was going into the draft, and I don't believe it has changed. I mean, he clearly does not like the media for whatever reason. He didn't meet at Pro Day. He didn't show up to any of that. People were saying, like, after they, like, interviewed him, or there were some videos from him, like, in the Cardinals facility, they were like, this is the most I've seen Marvin Harrison Jr., like, talk throughout this whole process. And it's funny because his dad, Marvin Harrison, was like, I saw an interview with him, and he said, yeah, the one thing that I wish my son does a better job than me at, I wish he's more of a diva. Like, I wish he, like, has himself on this high horse more. And I was like, huh, interesting. So clearly he's following Pop's advice because, yeah, right now it looks like we're going to have to play Madden with Harvin Marison Jr. because, like, he's not going to be in the game. They can't even sell his jerseys.
Just wide receiver number 18.
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't remember the last time that's happened.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's interesting. Like, what happens if you just never sign that? Like, he's still going to be in the NFL, right? He's still going to have, like, his own jersey and stuff. He's just not going to be selling jerseys.
Yeah.
He's not going to be in Madden.
Right.
I bet you he's fine with that.
Probably. He's going to get paid regardless. Mm-hmm. But I will say this. You might not be able to get a jersey from Fanatics, but DHgate does not care.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
No licensing needed.
Yeah.
They got the LaMelo Ball ones. They got you. That's where I got my OJ jersey.
Yeah. OJ jersey, man.
Who would have that?
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine like wearing that to a class or anything. Like
No,
a history class. No, that'd be crazy. Well, you got anything else today?
Nah, man. Just look out. Keep an eye out for Dylan Raiola. Absolute beast.
True. A son of legendary, arguably best center of all time, in your words, center Dominic Raiola. If you don't know what we're referencing, go peep the YouTube video where we guessed player lineups by colleges. That was a fun video.
Yeah. Greatest center of all time. That was a little bit of a stretch. I'll admit it.
Should we do a top 5 centers of all time list before we get out of here?
Yeah. Travis Frederick.
Oh, okay.
Was he a center?
Yeah.
He was a center. Jeff Saturday.
Okay. Yep.
Jason Kelsey.
Yep.
Can't think of any more centers.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Olin Kreutz, the Bears guy, pretty sick. Who are we forgetting? Oh, Nick Mangold. Do you remember him? He was the Jets guy. He had like crazy hair.
Oh yeah.
I remember having his Madden card.
Yeah. Who's the dude that was on the Bucks that retired recently?
Ryan Jensen.
Yeah. He was a really good center.
Alex Mack played for the Falcons, Browns.
Frank Ragnow.
Yes. GOAT. There's some good young centers. Frank Ragnow, probably best in the league right now.
Frank Ragnow's on his way out, man. I'll be honest.
You think?
Yeah. Chronic foot injuries. I don't know. I feel like he doesn't really like football anymore. Yeah.
Well, get him a ring first.
We're gonna.
If the Lions want to win the Super Bowl this year, I'm okay with that. I think the Bears are gonna be a wild card team. So, and this is probably, you got 2 more years left in that window, big dog. So.
2 more years in the window? I'm pretty sure that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes just signed 4-year extensions. So that's what's going to be. That which means like a 6-year window because those are the guys that they draft.
Well, word on the street is after Jared Goff is off the team in a year or 2, then you're going to draft the next Zach Wilson. That's just the word on the street.
That's what people are saying?
Yeah, some are saying. So,
man, in Penei Sewell's press conference recently, he was talking about, he was like, I don't care about any of these individual accolades. He's like, I'm glad I got paid, but other than that, like, he's like, I just want to go win a Super Bowl. He's like, I need it. Yeah. I want it now.
Well, lucky for Penei, there's no Offensive Lineman of the Year award in the NFL, so he doesn't have to worry about getting accolades.
Yeah, but he's first-team All-Pro, and he's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, I suppose. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, what did your offensive lineman do?
Man, nothing. We'll be back, though. Darnell Wright.
Yeah, I actually like Darnell Wright. He's solid. Yeah. He's serviceable.
Yeah.
What about is Detroit become the next Alabama?
Ooh.
Brian Branch, Terrion Arnold, Jahmyr Gibbs, J-Mo.
That's pretty good.
Just saying, man. I mean, I think it's a good move to like draft players that went to college together because then like they'll immediately jive with each other once they get on the field. So,
Yeah, some chemistry already.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Kool-Aid McKinstry. It was a good second-round pick for the Saints. But going back to our best value picks there, a lot, Bama every year is going to have some good players. Oh, one thing, I thought it was interesting. Washington, their coach was Cade DeBauer. Is that his name? Their former coach who just went to Alabama to replace Satan.
Yeah.
Or I just said Satan to replace Saban. Yeah, Nick Satan to replace him. I thought it was really interesting because, Alabama players, there's always like guys throughout rounds 1 and 7 that are just always like, if you go to Alabama, like you're going to probably go to the NFL just because they just recruit so much talent. It was interesting how many Washington players went in this year's draft. There were 3 receivers. There were, I think, 3 offensive linemen. You had a quarterback. I think there's a running back. I'm going to look up their draft class. But I think it's interesting. That was Cade DeBauer got a lot of talent at Washington. A lot of guys who went to the NFL, and now he's at Alabama. Kind of fits right in with their program.
It does, yeah. That's perfect. Saban on the broadcast for night 1 in the first round was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like when they would just go to him, they'd be like, all right, like we could squeeze in 30 seconds. Like, what can you add, Saban? He'd be like, all right. I'm like, all right. He would just say some like random stuff. It's just funny seeing him on the air. Like, I hope we get him as an anchor like a lot more often.
That'd be cool. I think Belichick was on one of the casts as well.
Yeah,
right?
Belichick was too. And he was on his phone the whole time. I think he was on the McAfee show. And they were trying to talk to him, and he was like on his phone. He's like, I'm getting calls. And he kept like talking to Pat McAfee like casually as if they weren't on the air. Like somebody else would be talking, then he would just turn to McAfee and be like, yeah, I got to go take like a phone call or something. It was so funny.
The grandpa. I mean, Bill Belichick does not care.
Yeah, he doesn't have to care at all.
He does not care. Let's see. Most drafted players by college 2024. Let's see. Washington had 10. Is that the most? Yeah. So Georgia. Wait. Oh, 13 players from Michigan, 11 from Texas, 10 from Bama, 10 from Washington. Florida State had 10 as well. Penn State had 8. Oregon had 8. Wow. Georgia only had 8. USC had 7.
Yeah.
Notre Dame 7. Yeah.
People are saying that the Lions are heat checking and that they're going to miss on a lot of picks and that it's going to be like the Eagles last year when they got Javon Carter, Nakobe Dean, and they were like, oh, this is about to be the next Georgia team. Like, they're about to go win a Super Bowl. Like, they're going right back. And then some of those picks ended up missing. I guess not really Javon Carter. He's a beast.
Jalen Carter.
Or Jalen Carter. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, people are just saying that the Lions are heat checking it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I guess we'll see. But we are out of time for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be having what seems to be our last episode of the season next week.
Oh, should we do something special?
We probably should, yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know. We'll do something on the Instagram. Maybe we'll see what special things we can do on the air
maybe
for you guys.
we could bring on a special guest.
Yep.
Perhaps.
Yes. Once I'm thinking of a specific fiery redhead that may want to come on the show and give some crazy takes. You know who I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. I asked him today. He said he couldn't.
Unfortunate.
Next week.
Next week
though. He said he has all of May free.
Okay.
Today's May 1st though, right?
It is.
Interesting.
Well, happy May. For those of you graduating, happy graduation.
Yep.
Happy finals week. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Peace.
Take it easy.